Hi folks, Paul Bernstein of the Bernstein Law Group. In today's video, what we're going to talk about is if you receive an inheritance, will you be taxed? Many people ask me the question, if I get an inheritance, is there an inheritance tax on me? Well, the answer to that, as in many things we do, is it depends. If you're a Massachusetts resident and you receive an inheritance, there's no state inheritance tax. There's also no federal inheritance tax. Let me explain what an inheritance tax is. It's just what it sounds like. It's when someone receives an inheritance, it's a tax on the beneficiary receiving the inheritance. The mere fact you receive an inheritance, there's a tax. You don't have to worry about that as a Massachusetts resident. There's no inheritance tax. There's another type of what's known as a death tax, which is more formally known as an estate tax. That isn't a tax to the beneficiary. It's actually a tax on the estate when someone dies if that value of that estate exceeds a certain threshold. On the federal side, there's a federal estate tax. That tax threshold is $11.7 million. So as long as the person that passed away, their estate is under that $11.7 million, that's current numbers for year 2021, there's no federal estate tax. If that person that passed away was a Massachusetts resident, the threshold is significantly lower. It's $1 million. If the estate exceeds $1 million, the estate may need to pay an estate tax. But that comes off the top. The person receiving the inheritance won't have to report that inheritance as income. However, that doesn't necessarily mean there won't be a tax issue down the road. So what could that tax issue be for the beneficiary that receives an inheritance? Well, it depends on what type of inheritance they're receiving. If you're a beneficiary of a retirement plan, an IRA or a 401k, as you withdraw the funds out of that retirement plan, it will be treated as income to you upon withdrawal, and you'll have to report that on your 1040 income tax return the year following the year you withdrew it. So although it's an inheritance, it's not necessarily an inheritance tax. It's because you are inheriting a retirement plan that hasn't been taxed yet. So it's only upon withdrawal. The other time when you receive an inheritance that there could be a tax in the future is from the date that person passed away to the date not only that you received the inheritance, but when you subsequently sell that property. If there's been a growth in the value of that asset from the date of death value to the date you sell it, there will be capital gains tax just on that growth. But it's not a tax by the mere fact you inherited it. It's just on an increased value. I hope you found this information helpful in answering that question regarding inheritances and you having to pay a tax on it. If you have any other questions regarding estate planning or asset protection planning, feel free to reach out, contact me, and we can have a conversation about you and your personal questions. Thank you. I hope you found this helpful.